A reporter leans in and tells Vinícius Júnior he's about to be fined. He doesn't blink. We will pay, but we will not give any interviews. By the end of this video, you'll know which of 5 quiet rebellions against FIFA can actually force change, and which one the institution will simply absorb, fine, and forget. Quick one. Name a single demand players have made of FIFA this tournament. Struggling? That's the point. Nobody's been listening, and that's exactly why this story matters. Picture the scene at MetLife Stadium on June 13th. Brazil have just drawn level with Morocco. Vinícius Júnior cutting inside from the left in the 32nd minute, beating Bono with his right foot. It's his second career World Cup goal. Then comes the obligation, a mandatory halftime interview, written into FIFA's broadcast contracts. The deal's worth billions to the federation. Vinícius refuses. A reporter warns him he'll be fined. We will pay, but we will not give any interviews. That sentence isn't rebellion for its own sake. It's a player drawing a line between football and the commercial machine attached to it. For viewers, the takeaway is simple. Watch which players start treating fines as a price worth paying. Spain didn't lose to bad luck against Cape Verde. They lost to a format FIFA built without asking who'd have to survive it. On June 15th, the reigning European champions, ranked 3rd in the world, were held scoreless by a nation of roughly 560,000 people, playing only their second World Cup ever. Goalkeeper Stanley Mendes made save after save. But the deeper story is logistics. Spain is camped at a boarding school in Tennessee, Iraq in rural West Virginia, squads shuttling across 3 countries and 16 cities. Smaller federations are absorbing that strain with the fewest resources. A report published the same day confirmed teams face major travel demands, unlike any previous World Cup. For Cape Verde, surviving that grind and still holding Spain to 0 wasn't an accident. It was preparation meeting an uneven playing field. Here's the detail most coverage skipped. Iran's players are sleeping in a different country than the one they're competing in. Iran qualified for their 7th World Cup, drawn into Group G with Belgium, Egypt, and New Zealand, opening on June 15th in Los Angeles, a city their squad can only enter on match days. 15 officials, including the federation president and vice president, were denied visas. Their supporter ticket allocation was reportedly revoked. They are professional athletes competing while their own federation can't get through the door. For the viewer, this reframes what competing even means at this tournament. It's not just tactics and fitness. It's clearing hurdles no scoreboard will ever show. FIFA calls them welfare breaks. The players who sign the open letter call them 3 minutes of advertising disguised as care. Dozens of players petitioned before the tournament for 6-minute cooling breaks and independent scientific oversight of when heat protocols trigger. FIFA's response: keep the 22nd minute, 3-minute window, long enough to fit a commercial break, short enough to keep broadcast schedules intact. The same break, sold as protection, is built around the ad slot, not the temperature. No independent body verifies the heat readings. No federation has veto power over the schedule. For players on the pitch, that gap between stated purpose and actual design is the entire argument in miniature. If you've made it this far, you already know this tournament runs on stories like these. Quietly defiant, easy to miss in the highlights reel. Subscribe now, because the next 2 blocks cover the money behind the silence, and the one revolt FIFA genuinely can't control. Why hasn't FIFA moved an inch on the heat protocol letter? Follow the contracts. Each commercial break inside a match window is sold separately to broadcast partners, and FIFA's television deals for this tournament are worth billions of dollars in guaranteed inventory. A 6-minute break restructures that inventory. A 3-minute break doesn't. Spain's federation, Brazil's federation, none of them control that calendar. That's not a conspiracy, it's a budget line. And once you see the break as a financial commitment rather than a medical one, every other decision in this tournament starts reading differently. Take Ismail Saibari, the player who put Morocco ahead against Brazil before Vinicius equalized. He played the full 90 minutes in conditions players have publicly described as dangerous, with nothing but the standard 3-minute window to recover mid-half. Nobody disputes the heat. FIFA's own medical staff have acknowledged it in press briefings. His body, not FIFA's broadcast schedule, was the one keeping score that actually mattered. Multiply that single match by every squad rotating through 16 cities, and the open letter stops looking like activism and starts looking like basic maintenance. The mini-story here isn't dramatic, it's just exhausting, repeated 48 times over. Go back to the 2022 World Cup, when players also pushed back. Armbands, statements, gestures toward finances FIFA didn't sanction. Most of it got absorbed, fines issued, captains warned, the tournament moved on exactly as scheduled. That's the common misconception worth correcting here. That visible defiance automatically changes institutional behavior. It usually doesn't, not on its own. Revolt without leverage gets fined. Revolt with leverage gets negotiated. What's different in 2026 is the leverage. A global superstar willing to forfeit fines, a federation publicly accusing the host of vindictive treatment, and dozens of players speaking with one voice instead of one armband at a time. By 2030, when the World Cup expands again across Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, this exact tension resurfaces unless something structural changes now. FIFA has already signaled it won't shrink the format. More nations means more revenue, and that math isn't reversing. The only real question is whether players gain a formal seat in shaping these conditions, or keep negotiating one fine at a time. Watch the next round of broadcast negotiations, expected before the 2030 cycle begins. That's where any real shift in break length or scheduling power will actually show up, not in press conferences. For now, the takeaway for viewers is to track who gets a seat at that table, not just who wins on the pitch. 5 revolts, 1 tournament. A superstar who priced out the broadcast machine. A small nation exposing an uneven format. A federation playing while locked out of its own venues. And dozens of players asking for real welfare instead of an ad break. Some of this will be absorbed. The one with real leverage, Vinicius is the one FIFA can't simply fine away. Next time, inside the broadcast deal that explains why 3 minutes was never an accident.